Feel like sometimes I look down at what I'm wearing, like I could have walked out of a diorama at the Museum of Natural History, which I really love.
Yeah, I was born Muslim. Just gave me a very disciplined way of life. Although I'm not very involved into Islam now, I'm still a Muslim.
Death is a very big influence in my life in general. I lost my dad when I was 14, turning 15 years old. And I actually just recently lost my mother a year and a half ago. And it's it's probably the most real thing in life that people constantly try to avoid all the time and don't face it. And I guess fashion is just one way to sort of distract yourself from things that are important or real in life.
During the Soviet time, it was hard to go outside and meet, new people. In Russia, everybody used to, dress the same, very alike. I don't think we had that much to see and that much to get inspiration from.
Moved here and was still sort of wearing things that were kind of easy to wear. I wore a lot of like jeans and creepers and t-shirts. And I just sort of realized that I don't want it to be easy. I want to wear something that makes me feel really happy and that sort of reflects my interests. I care about historical clothing.
I was wearing a hijab during like 9/11 and I went to an all-white school. I'm still very open to everything in the world, other beliefs, religions, lifestyles.
I normally wear it just in 2 braids. I really like the Hopi Indians, the Hopi Native American tribe, and the women wear their hair in these like really big buns on the side of their head before they're married. I think it's supposed to represent like pumpkin flowers or something, which is like chastity, and it shows that they're unmarried and that they're, virginal. And then after they get married, they wear their hair in 2 braids, and that's supposed to sort of mimic a ear of corn, which is fertility. When someone says, "Are you Amish?" and I just say, "What's Amish?" Like I like to start a discussion like, "What makes you think I am Amish? I'm covered in tattoos, but you don't see them."
I started styling my own shoots, and everybody said I was great. I used to try on my dad's jackets, but they were too big, because I love oversized, but they were still too big. My mom was laughing at me saying, "You're ridiculous." But still, some of them actually worked.
I like a lot of things that are very colorful, especially in the winters, I would say, because you just tend to be surrounded by people that are constantly wearing black.
I could never see myself in anything skimpy or revealing. Definitely very modest, divine elegance with not being too girly. This cape is something that I made. This is actually Japanese hemp. I start being inspired by vintage kimonos, so this is kind of like a twist.
Well, I made this, and it's based on a dress that's at some museum in New Jersey, and it's from the 1830s.
These boots, they started looking pretty gross in the winter because I was wearing them in the snow. I wanted to fix it, so I used pink spray paint.
I'm wearing Rodarte for opening ceremony pants, and I used to hate sequins. Now I love them. Now I hate them. Then I'm gonna hate them again. And I wore them so much that all the sequins almost fell off.
Both skirt and top are linen. I just tried to play around with levels to create some type of layering going. It just has this symbolic representation of women from all points of time, everywhere in the world.
I made this blouse. It's based on an actual existing blouse that's at the the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Funny, it's just made of muslin, and it's just one long band with fabric gathered on it. It's the most simple, practical garment of all time. And then these are just old bloomers.
This t-shirt is made by my boyfriend. He did a little iron-on with a peyote flower. The kimono is from Tokyo. I was thrift shopping, and they have some of the best stuff. I make jewelry as well. After living here, I see how beautiful things are back home, and a lot of my materials are either from travels or from Nepal. And this little guy right here, I made a series of jewelry called The Melancholy Death of the Urchin Girl, which was inspired by Tim Burton's book, The Melancholy Death of the Oyster Boy. And I got these bone skulls from water buffalo from Nepal.
This Erickson Beeman necklace I'm gonna keep forever.
I don't know, I'm just in love with it. This is absolute me, like a mixture of, you know, beads and stones.
And he says like, hey, you. And normally it's my friend that I'm walking with who gets stopped a lot because she wears these really high platforms. And so we both turn around and I like start to walk away and he goes, no, you, and pointed to me. And so I turn around and he says, those are pants from my village. That's where I'm from. We make those pants. At any rate, he says, you have to have this. And he starts rooting around in his suitcase and he pulls out this vest and he says, this is what you wear with these pants.
This is Acne. This is also Acne.
And my hat is also Acne. And the shoes are Balenciaga. And I actually have them in white too, because I fell in love with them. Oh, I get rid of things very often. I learned it in life because I just moved. So you have to get rid of things. You have to keep what's like, you know, your favorite and what has like family value.
When I was 19, I was like at the height of like being so passionately involved in designing. And I moved here and I lost a little bit of sight where I was going. I gained a creative block. I have never been so uninspired. I just love to just take a moment to be MIA, feel like I'm getting away so that I can be lost like I used to be lost in my craft. And I don't think it has anything to do with, you know, people or New York. New York is beautiful. It went from being such a free-spirited person to being very self-conscious. Something about the fashion world is just not for me. I got scared, I stiffened up. There's no need for me to feel like I need to be competitive within my art. I just would love to share my aesthetic with everyone and have it just be respected and not criticized. To me, it's the most rewarding experience to stand alone in your own skin with a unique style and have people be aware of that. I don't think you can be a stylish person without like a specific like aura and, you know, leaving your mark on someone.